Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. We're playing Familiars today, but we're going a little bit crazy playing Esper for Snuff Out. If you control a swamp, you can pay 4 life rather than pay the spell's mana cost to destroy target non-black creature, and it can't be regenerated. So this combines decently well with the Contaminated Landscape. That's a recently created card from Modern Horizons 3. And so we're playing some number of landscapes, Ice Tunnel, and Swamp. So Lauren Revealed can grab our Ice Tunnel, and obviously we can get the Swamp, and then we can cycle off the Esper mana. We can also cast it off of Mortuary Mire potentially. And because Snuff Out allows us to deal with big creatures, I'm going to go for Prohibit. This is one of the counterspells that I used originally in Familiars. It's just a good way to stop the opposing counterspells and stuff like that. And I'm also going to be cutting down to 3 snaps. So part of this deck, things that I've been playing with is how many cantrips, how many action spells, etc. A lot of people in the Familiars Discord said that I'm too high on cantrips and I should go higher on just action spells. So that's what I'm doing here today. 20 lands, 4 Preordained, 4 Modern Age, 3 Deep Analysis. So a huge amount of value. And then I noticed that I was having trouble finding space in the main deck, so I've cut down to 2 Archaeomancer, keeping the 4 Faithfuls, but you could go down to just 3 Faithfuls here and put the 3rd Archaeomancer in the main deck. It's just not very good against fast decks. We have the 3rd Archaeomancer over here in the sideboard. A 4th Snuff Out in the sideboard, 4 Dust to Dust and 2 Revoke Existence to hopefully beat Affinity. 1 Dawnbringer Cleric and 4 Hydroblast for mono red with an additional mono Dawnbringer Cleric in the main deck. This gives us hopefully some ways to beat mono red, and Prohibit is actually relatively decent versus them. And then I have 2 more counter spells in the sideboard, so I really only have 5 like counter spells in the deck. Hopefully that will be enough to manage the format. I think that Familiars is generally weak to mono blue and weak to Glee, so hopefully Snuff Out, killing terrors, and Glee creatures can help. I've been testing this earlier, and I found that Snuff Out's very, very good versus Glee, obviously. And, you know, we could like get them with a cleric maybe, who knows. So that's my deck tech. If you want to check out sideboard guides for Familiars, make sure to go to patreon.com/kalikaiz. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about playing Familiars and having fun. I know people have been wanting me to play Esper for a while. Check out cardmarket.com if you're in Europe, the largest seller of Magic the Gathering cards in Europe. Let's hop into the matches. Round 1 on the play versus Blommed. This hand is actually pretty decent. We have a cantrip into a Modern Age, and I think I know what I'm missing here. So I'm going to cantrip looking for a white source. I don't think I can keep either of these right now. I'm going to bottom. I found the Chancery. So next turn, I have the option of playing the Modern Age or playing the Chancery. Our opponent plays a Cauldron Familiar. Okay, so probably not Glee, probably some sort of mid-range pile. I'll play the Chancery and pick up the island. So now this turn I can go Familiar, Snap, Familiar, Modern Age. That could be pretty decent. They play Basilisk Gate. They're probably on a Black-White Gates pile. And they may be on Tithing Blades, so probably going to get a Familiar eaten by a Tithing Blade. They get in. Okay, so I have Sunscape Familiar, Snap Your Cat, untap, Drifter, Snap Drifter, evoke. Okay, we're doing the thing. Draw 2 cards, snap the Mole Drifter, untap, play a Sunscape Familiar, play a Modern Age, and so I can Dawnbringer Cleric away a cat later, or kill like a Journey to Nowhere. I think it's fine to have that over the Modern Age here. I'm interested in keeping the counterspell potentially. And I want to keep the land because if they Tithing Blade a Familiar, then next turn I can cast the Mole Drifter for 4 mana. And they play a Cast Down, so not Tithing Blade, but they did kill a Familiar. Okay. Plays a Gate on green, so they're Abzan, it appears. We draw. I can discard the Deep Analysis or an Island. I think it's fine to discard the Island. That way I can just Deep Analysis and draw 4 cards instead of 2. Mole Drifter enters the battlefield. Draw 2. Find another Familiar and a Modern Age. Opponent plays a Lembus. They can play their cat, go back to 20, go to 22, put me to 19. Do I want to start holding up Counterspell? I don't think so. They deadly dispute the Lembus. Lembus goes back into their library, makes a treasure token. Let's see if they use it. Okay, we find a Snuff out. I don't think that's very good at the moment, so I could just play the Modern Age, pitch the Snuff out, or we'll go Familiar. I think this is better. Familiar into Deep Analysis myself. Draw 2. Okay, we didn't find a land. That's a problem. I accidentally F6 during my attack phase because I had no possible play yield on. Yield all on. Whoops. Opponent plays Heaped Harvest. So they get a land, and then they play their cat. So maybe I shouldn't have discarded the land earlier. They Eviscerator's Insight, the Heaped Harvest gets even more lands out of their deck. So they appear to just be black-green, but mostly black with a splash of green. They didn't even get a forest. Okay, we draw. Let's cast a Muldrifter. We can hold up Prohibit or Counterspell. I think I'm just going to play the Modern Age, holding up the Prohibit. Can discard. Don't think the Snuff out is going to be good. They have probably mostly black stuff. I'll discard the Snuff out for the moment. Play the Island. Just attack for 4. Prohibit is here in case they have some sort of thing that I need to counter. Not going to counter the cat. Maybe a Deadly Dispute I would counter. Play a cat. And then we go to 17, they go to 18. They're going to Deadly Dispute their cat. It's going to counter your Deadly Dispute. But they can bring the cat back by sacrificing the Lembus. Plays another Lembus. So this is probably one of the best possible matchups for Familiars is a random mid-range Gates pile. I guess maybe they could have a... Oh god. It's going to be Pestilence. Well, I have a Dawnbringer Cleric. So this is the Pest Food Gates. Okay. Discard this. Discard the Faithful or the Swamp. Well, I know I want a Dawnbringer Cleric, the Pestilence. Then I have to hold up the Counterspell. Well, I'm going to discard the Swamp. Cleric. Blast your Pestilence. Draw 2 cards with the Deep Analysis. Let's preordain, looking for counter. We find Contaminated Landscape and a Snap. I guess I'm just going to I'll take both of these, play the Landscape, and then draw 2 more again, and swing out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think they have 4 damage if they want to, with the Pestilence, if they have a second Pestilence here. I want to give us the lull. I don't know what and why. Maybe because of the Dawnbringer? Yeah, probably. So the Eviscerator's Incited a Lembus, it seems. Plays a cat. Now I want to play the Faithful. 5 mana. The Eviscerator's Incite a cat. Okay. Plays a land. We have even more stuff going on. Let's go Faithful and draw some cards. All right. Attack. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. They take 7, go to 6. I'm going to sacrifice this for planes, then just cast my Preordain, looking for a land. Having pitched multiple lands has not been working out. Let's bottom these. Preordain again. Okay, we found a Chancery and a Faithful. Bottom, top, play the Chancery, pick up the land, and then I guess I'm thinking to myself about whether I should snap a creature. And I guess I can just snap a Faithful back. Then I have the Counterspell up. Yeah, that seems like a fine play. Snap back the Faithful. Untap. And then we'll go to discard, discarding a Faithful and a Familiar. So right now our opponent is going to die. I guess we have 9 power on the table. Blood Fountain. Okay, sure. Gonna get back 2 Familiars. They loot, getting rid of a Manor Gate. The Eviscerator's Insight, the Blood Fountain. They have 5 mana available. Plays a land. 4 mana. Okay, they're gonna play Crypt Rats. I'll just cast a Counterspell. Then that should do it. So here I could Ephemerate a Muldrifter. I don't know if they'll use like a removal spell or not. I do that. Then I could ephemerate again. Okay. They're going to deadly dispute their Lembas. I can ephemerate here and get rid of their cat, and then ephemerate and get rid of their other cat? Or just draw 2 cards? Okay. Let's see what happens here. So the Lembas goes back into their library. I guess I could ephemerate the Dawnbringer Cleric like in response to a cat activation. Alright, they scoop. A nice first matchup for us. Snuff Out seems very poorly positioned. We want the Archaeomancer and the counterspells. Seems like God Pharaoh's Faithful's not that good. We do want the Dawnbringer Cleric. So I guess we can leave in a couple of Faithfuls. Maybe the Revoke Existence is fine. It's for like a relic. And we'll do it this way. We have these 3 counterspells that can hit the plus the 2 Dawnbringers for the Pestilence. They lead on a gate. And I'm just going to start doing stuff. Island and Preordain. Chancery, Modern Age. So I can play a Modern Age, pitch the Plains, and then I'll draw again, pitch an island, play the Chancery, pitch another island. Okay. Let's keep these cards. We don't have to worry about holding up Counterspell until they have 4 mana for the Pestilence. They go Duress. Probably takes the Counterspell at this point. I have 2 Modern Ages. Takes the Counterspell. Alright, let's filter some lands out of our hand. Land and Modern Age. Just love this card. Discard the Plains. I think next turn I might just discard the Faithful. Usually you don't need that many of those. Black Dragon Gate for the opponent. Okay, we find a Dawnbringer Cleric. We loot. Guess I can discard the other Chancery. Play this Chancery. Pick up a land. And then Modern Age. Discard the Faithful here. We're just like filtering so much through our deck. We're already at 46 cards left in the library and it's only turn 3. They play a Manor Gate. Okay, we get to loot again. And we found a Deep Analysis. So I think I'm going to discard the Deep Analysis. Get my creature back. Draw 2. And then land to Modern Age. And here, pitching the Snap seems fine. Pitch the Snap. So next turn, I can discard the Chancery and hardcast the Mulldrifter. I can discard the Island and hardcast the Archaeomancer, getting back Counterspell. They have 5 mana. They're doing nothing. Find an Ephemerate. Okay. I'll get a creature, I'll loot. I'll discard the Island, and then Archaeomancer for the Counterspell. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Island, and we're good. They scoop it up. They had some deadly disputes and nothing to hit. Well, I mean, you kept that hand. All right, we'll see you in round 2. Okay, round 2 on. We're 1-0 on the draw. We have nothing to do for many turns, so I think I have to mulligan. I'm gonna keep this because I have double cantrip, and I like double cantrip personally. Snuff Out maybe could be useful later. I don't think the Archaeomancer is useful anytime soon. It looks like our opponent's on Delver. Ugh. Well, hopefully Snuff Out can help us. Maybe I'll just rip the swamp. I did not. Preordain. Gotta bottom these ones. Okay, we're gonna get Spell Pierce out of the game. Yikes. Opponent brainstorming to set up their Delver. They find a Lorien Revealed off the top. Finds a land. We're looking for a Lorien Revealed of our own, so I can cycle and then snuff out this creature. They play another Delver. Come on, Lorien. Modern Age. It's Preordain, looking for lands. Bottom, bottom. And we found Plains. I don't think it's going to be able to save me. Alright, so our opponent's going to cycle Lorien Revealed. And let's see if they flip the Delver. They don't flip. Plays a land. So best case scenario, I like snap this and they don't do anything. I play the Modern Age into a Ice Tunnel, play the Ice Tunnel and blast that thing. Find a Prohibit. Gonna try the Modern Age. They have Counterspell. I'm just gonna concede and go to the next game. Got really mana screwed. That's my fault though. They let it happen. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll discard the Ephemerate. We did find the Lorien Revealed. I don't think I can get through this, but we're gonna try. Flips on a mental note. Boomerang the Modern Age. Gets in for 6. Okay, we're gonna go to the next game. I don't really want to show them what I'm doing. So do I think that Dawnbringer Cleric is worth it at all? There's another body. I think the snuff outs are important. I'm going to just cut a counterspell. I don't feel like casting a 2-mana counterspell is actually going to help that much. I think Dawnbringer Cleric is actually not that good. And I'll bring in the Archaeomancer. I'm just going to try to rely on the Faithfuls. And we're on the play. This is a mulligan. We just have too much high-end stuff. Okay, this seems fine. Let's keep it and put back... They're on Boomerang, right? They showed us the Boomerang. Put back the plains. Island pass. Put in place an island. Let's try a Modern Age. They're brainstorming in response. That's pretty good for me, I guess. So I think I can afford to get rid of a Modern Age. The other option is to just get rid of the Prohibit and just keep churning. I'll pitch one of the Modern Ages. I mean, I felt like it was pretty easy for me to play against that round 1 opponent, but this one, I just get really flustered by playing against mono blue. Our opponent cycles for an island, plays the island, plays a Delver. I guess we're looking for a snap or a snuff out. Find a Mortuary Mire. We could discard the Muldrifter and then mire it back if we wanted. Finding a floodplain. Okay, I'm gonna discard the Drifter, then put it back on top. I don't know if that's that great, but it allows me to keep the Prohibit up here. What are they gonna do with this Delver? Next turn, my Modern Age flips. They only have 2 in the graveyard. Plays an island. Gets in for 1. Okay, they're passing the turn. So I draw my Muldrifter, play out my Floodplain, and then pass. I know that that doesn't allow me to play the Muldrifter anytime soon, but I'm nervous that they're going to Boomerang me. The nerves. They still don't flip their Delver. 4 mana for the opponent. They cannot currently attack. Okay. They're on my upkeep paused. Find a snuff out. I think I should save that for the terrors. Let's play another Modern Age. The island, play the Modern Age. They play an Annul. Wow. They're very aggressively trying to counter my Vector Gliders. I don't think that was that necessary. Interesting. Delver of Secrets. Will you transform? They do transform into a Thought Scour. I'm just going to hard block here. Thought Scours themselves. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the graveyard. Cryptic Serpent. Okay. So now I'm going to snuff out the Serpent. They just let that go. They're F6'd. Maybe they don't have a counterspell right now. Oh, we have Drifter Ephemerate. Hello. Sick. Doot. So we have 4 mana. And hold up the Prohibit. Drifter Ephemerate was just huge there. And this is sort of like why you want to even play Familiars, is that Muldrifter plus Ephemerate is a crazy good combo. They have a counterspell. We have a Prohibit. And we still have the white mana. Ephemerate. Okay. Passing the turn. I'm trying to keep my life total high for future snuff outs. I would be really surprised and excited if we were able to take this on the back of the snuff outs. Opponent plays a Tolarian Terror. They have 3 mana, or 3 cards in hand, 4 mana. Declines to attack. Okay. And this Rebound Resolve. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Okay, it resolves. We just drew 6 cards. Alright, now I have double Faithful. Play the land. We'll go Faithful, into Faithful, into Preordained. Gain 2 life. So I really like that multiple Faithfuls in play make their, if they just have like 1 or 2 terrors, it can really get big buffer for you. Find Archaeomancer and Deep Analysis. Well, I'm going to top both of these and then just play out the Archaeomancer. I didn't keep the Deep Analysis there because I was afraid of a Spell Pierce. But if they have Counterspell, they're going to Counterspell at any point anyway, so I didn't think it was going to matter. So Archaeomancer gets countered. But we just gained 4 life. This upcoming turn, let's see. They have a Murmuring Mystic. Okay. 1 card in hand. Gets in for 5. Okay. I think I should play the Muldrifter out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I'll try it. They have to have another counterspell. Okay, we got through it. Finding a Familiar. Land. Play the Familiar. Pass the turn. So now next turn, if they attack with a terror, I will block, block, block. They could boomerang like Vector Glider or Mole Drifter to stop the thing from getting killed, but I think a triple block is probably useful. Okay, so they're going to start spitting out birds. They thought scour them me. Okay, sure, whatever. I don't think that's the correct move when they know I have deep analysis in my deck. I mean, maybe that is. So let me know in the comments if you would thought scour your opponent. Sleep of the Dead on the Vector Glider. Okay. Fine. You can attack for 5. I will block your Insectile Aberration. Donk. Just trade with that thing. I'm looking for some Snuff outs. I'm gonna kill the Murmuring Mystic. Going wide quickly. 1, 2. Alright, Deep Analysis. Oops, I tapped too much mana. So 1, 2, 2. We're Deep Analysising, draw 2 cards. Gain 2 life. Go to 13. Find a Faithful. Play another Faithful. Start with a Preordain, trying to find some way to deal with the Mystic and the Terror. 16 now. We found the Ice Tunnel, I don't want that. Pop the Preordain. Let's Preordain again. And then we're back at the position where we have to play around a Spell Pierce. They haven't played their last card in hand, so it may very well be a Spell Pierce. A Deep Analysis and a Snap. Okay, all my value stuff is actually looking pretty sick here. Just snap your Murmuring Mystic. A Dispel, okay. So we're not going to be able to play around the Dispel. Deep Analysis. And let's see what else we get. Okay, I'll pass. We have Archaeomancer. We can go Archaeomancer, Ephemerate, Snuff out. And it just depends on what they draw. Mental Note, okay. So they get a cantrip. So it's additionally, they're playing Sleep of the Dead, which has Escape. So they should have definitely targeted themselves. They have more fodder for their Sleep of the Dead. Doesn't make that much sense. Okay. I think they probably were just thinking, oh, I already have my graveyard stocked, but maybe they forgot about the Sleep of the Dead situation. Let's try Archaeomancer. Get the Ephemerate. Okay, that worked, looks like. Ephemerate. And I mistapped, but that's okay. Just Snuff out. Murder your Murmuring Mystic. And then that only cost me 1 life because of my Faithfuls in play. Let's try Deep Analysis. Draw some cards. Another Familiar, okay. Play the Familiar. And pass. Still just not playing into a Spell Pierce. Our opponent plays a Consider. Let's see. They played Island and a Consider. They went top. Okay. Gets in for 5. Which doesn't matter to me, which is awesome. Don't care. 5 damage? Sure. No big deal. So we're going to do Ephemerate, and then get back Ephemerate, and then Ephemerate for the Prohibit. That way I'm just ready for all their interaction. Later on, get back to Prohibit. 1. We have 2 Familiars in play now. So let's play out a Mole Drifter. Using my Erroneous Black mana. Find a Snuff out. Alright, let's just blast this thing. Pay the 2 mana. So now we found a Contaminated Landscape, and I want to save that for cycling, I think. Deep Analysis, draw some cards. Looking for my Flicker. Or maybe Snaps is fine. Another Snuff out. Don't really need that. Play the Modern Age. I guess at this point, I have so much card advantage, and I'm so far ahead that I could just pitch the Deep Analysis if I wanted. Sure, Deep Analysis. Let's Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Maybe it would have been better to pitch the Landscape and then just use the Deep Analysis. Use the Snap. Snap a bird. I'm not playing around Spell Pierce on accident, but I do have this Prohibit. I guess that's fine. And then we'll just go Florian Revealed, draw 3 cards. Whee! Alright, and then I can attack. And bam. You triple block. Snuff out a blocker. And then got nothing going on. Oh, they're just going to single block. Save some time. Okay. Buy themselves a turn or 2. Yeah, this feels pretty solid. Okay. Terror for the opponent. No problem. That's funny. Okay, we have a bunch of Ephemerates. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. I think I'm going to Ephemerate for Snaps just to get some mana back. Or build up some mana for the ward cost and stuff like that. Ephemerate again. Maybe Okay, let's get back Ephemerate. We have a 4th Faithful in hand, so I can just pitch that. I can also pitch another familiar. Ephemerate. Get back the Snap. Play the Chancery, getting back the Plains. Could also pick up the Archaeomancer. I think it's fine to pick up the Plains. Bounce the bird. Untap. Let's cycle this landscape. That feels good. Then I'll just blast this. Pay the ward. Just float in some blue mana. Okay, Terror is dead. Let's draw some cards. Now we have to not die to getting milled. Attack with everything. Bam, bam, bam. What do I want to do now? Snap and replay a Drifter. I think I'm going to untap and replay a familiar. And then play the Drifter. So now I can play the Snuff out kicked for 1 mana. Okay, I need to not die to getting milled. Let's cast Preordain looking for Flicker. Another Archaeomancer and a Lorien Revealed. Guess I can top both of these. All right, play the Archaeomancer, grabbing a Snap. Then I think we just have to counter everything they do for a while. We're gonna go to my end step. Can discard and discard. This other Chancery is probably fine to discard as well. 5 mana for the opponent. I do not have a counterspell for Lorien Revealed. You get it. End step, I'm going to Ephemerate for the Preordain. That way I can try to find my Flicker. And upkeep, we're just rebound these Ephemerates. Okay, Ephemerates are back. My turn. I get another 2/3. Play a Preordain looking for the Flicker. Bottom and bottom. Still didn't find it. Okay, attack with everything. Opponent's at 7. Ephemerate for another Preordain. Just really don't want to get milled. Preordain. There's the Flicker. So we're good now. And that's because I can flicker my Mortuary Mire to put creatures on top. Maybe I should have... We have a few creatures in the graveyard. I'll discard this and a Snuff out. Opponent goes Deep Analysis, targeting themselves. Let's counter it with Prohibit. They counterspell my Prohibit. Okay. I'll just Ephemerate back the Prohibit. And then counter it again. Any response this time? They have another counter. Counter, okay. So now I'll just counter it again. Oops. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe they're just going for clock, but I mean, this is game 2 and it's 12:30 on clock. I think we got tons of time. I am going to waste a few seconds to just Ephemerate my stuff back in case something crazy happens. Just Ephemerate the Archaeomancers. We're at 12:20. And then get the Ephemerate back. And then I've yielded until second main. I'll take my draw and just go straight to attacks. Attack with all. In 14 seconds. GG. They actually scoop to the attacks. I love when people are trying to clock you and then they just don't let you actually deal lethal. It's funny. Okay. I think that was the best we could do. Let's try it again. Snuff out was very, 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 very good. Okay, we have to not get run over. We have 0 lands. Okay, once again, we have a 1-lander. I think in the name, I think I'm going to keep this. Mostly because I'm trying to high roll with the snapback. I think we can do it. Island for the opponent. They play a Delver. Find another Ephemerate. That's a problem. Preordain. Okay, bottom the snap. Top the land. Let's see if their Delver flips. They're going to brainstorm, which will flip the Delver most likely. Seems very unlikely that they can't. They flipped on a Consider and they're attacking for 3. Lorien Revealed would be the best draw for us. We whiff. That's the turn. I think I just need to be more aggressive with my mulligans. I just get really like, it'll work, it'll work. I got nothing. Gets in for 3. Maybe I need to be on 4 Lorien Revealed. I don't know. Okay. I'll take that L. Let's go to round 3. Just the next land was 5 more away. That's hilarious. Okay, let's go to round 3. Round 3 versus Clemego. So we have a very nice keep of Island into Chancery with a couple of cantrips. Let's keep it. I think in the blind, I'm preordaining looking for a familiar. Muldrifter. So I guess I want to bottom these cards. Found a contaminated landscape. Opponent on serrated scorpion. Okay. So snuff out really bad. Play the Chancery. Pick this up. We're looking for Faithful's Familiars. Okay, this is good. So we are going to draw the Familiar. Then we can play Island. Holding up Prohibit. Next turn, Drifter, Flicker, Drifter. They get in with the serrated scorpion. Their Tyrant's choicing me. We have to vote Torture just like they did. Land. Play the Familiar. And then I'm hoping they don't have a Snuff out. That would be bad. Plays a third land. Bump in the Night, putting me to 15. Okay. Or 12. Okay. My turn. Another island. Let's go evoke the Drifter. We draw 2 cards. Finding a snap. Let's flicker Drifter Island. They have a removal spell. They Deadly Dispute the serrated scorpion, putting me to 10. Okay. So now I could snap the Mole Drifter. Still turn 4. I think I'm going to just discard the Snuff out here. They play another Bump in the Night. Okay. I'm going to counterspell the Tyrant's Choice. Yeah. Easy pick for me. They've got a serrated scorpion again. Plays a Jagged Barrens. I wonder if I want to just... Okay, that makes it easy. We'll go Faithful. I'm trying to build up some mana. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Island. So I could snap and replay my Mole Drifter. It's going to cost me 3 mana to do it. It's going to cost me 3 mana to cast Lorien Revealed anyway. Let's snap this thing to stress their mana a little bit. We'll go to 7 life. Untap. Play the Familiar here. Cast Lorien Revealed. Draw 3. Then cast Modern Age. We'll just discard one of the landscapes. Attack for 2. I could play the Swamp just to cycle the landscape. I'm not sure if that's a great idea, though. I think I should just discard the Swamp on the next turn. Vampire's Kiss puts us to 7. Sign and Blood themselves. They're at 20. We draw. Discard a Swamp. Found another Faithful. Awesome. Play a Modern Age. Go to 9. And they concede. Phew. So here we bring in the Dawnbringer Cleric. Cutting all the Snuff outs. I think the counter spells are okay. Maybe the Arcanemancer. I don't think the Ephemerate's necessary. I think maybe one Deep Analysis could get cut. So that, I mean, the question is, what do I think is going to be the best value for me? None of the rest of these cards are good. Maybe the Revoke Existence is okay. Probably the Deep Analysis is higher value than the Arcanemancer, but whoa. So do I want the Ephemerate or an Arcanemancer? I just realized I have extra stuff. Guess it's fine the way it is here. Yeah. One hard thing about the Blackburn deck is that it doesn't die to stuff like Hydroblast. That's sort of why it's built that way. Our opponent mulligans to 5. Land. Bump in the Night. We're at 17. Play a land. Pass the turn. No second land for our opponent. Find a Faithful. I'm going to play the Modern Age here. Discard the Deep Analysis. Next turn I'm probably going to have to discard the Arcanemancer. But then I can flash back to Deep Analysis. And play the Chancery. Well, it looks like they just never found lands and we're 2-1 on round 4. Okay, round 4 versus Besu de Gaia. And I've seen them on Fairies a few times in a row. Well, this hand is probably pretty good versus Fairies. Let's play the land and pass the turn. That's because we have blockers for Ninja. We have Modern Age. They go Contaminated Aquifer. Grab a Plains. I think I'm just going to... Oh, okay. We found a Chancery, so let's play the Faithful out. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Our opponent has been playing Spell Pierces in the past. I don't know if I really want to be Snuff outing in this matchup, but maybe that I should. You really want to hard cast a Deep Analysis in this matchup. They play a Ponder after playing a Preordain. So we can Modern Age, discard the Plains, and then see what's up. Probably still want to just grab the Swamp. Could Preordain first. Let's Modern Age. Discard the Plains. I'm just going to Preordain here, actually. I would much rather have... So we did find the Snuff out. Because I taught both of these. I would rather have a Volatile or an Ice Tunnel than the Swamp. Play Augur of Bolus. Finding a cast down. So they can cast down my familiar. Fairy Seer for the opponent. They go top. We draw and discard. I'm going to discard the Deep Analysis. Play the Landscape. We'll go Familiar and Deep Analysis right away, drawing 2 cards. So that's some value. And then I want to just surprise them with my Snuff Out. I know they're probably going to cast down the Familiar. Snuff Out. Okay. That's a bummer. No attacks. I'll crack this. It's a swamp, baby. Okay. My turn. So I can have a couple of options. I could just want to cast a Deep Analysis. Then if they counterspell, I can play the Faithful. Okay, Deep Analysis. It's holding up the planes. The white mana. Spell Pierce is annoying. Okay. I don't like that they're playing one of Spell Pierce and always draw it. Wither and Bloom, so they also have a cast down. Fine. Plays a Preordain. Cast down still in hand. And then 3 unknowns. Getting in for 2. No ninja. Find an Ephemerate. Let's try Deep Analysis from the graveyard. Okay, that resolves. Play Island. We'll go Modern Age. And then I'm hoping they just cast a Spell Setter. But I've seriously telegraphed it. Counterspell. Okay. So now I can play my Faithful and play a Preordain. Game Answer and Island. We'll top both. I have 5, 6, and then I'll have 7 mana. They play nothing. Attacks for 1. Alright. They have Cast Down and 3 unknowns. They've already used 1 counterspell. Let's just try evoking a Muldrifter. They counterspell. Okay. So now I can go Arcane Answer. Grab the Preordain. Maybe I could have snuffed this and then grab the Snuff Out. Alright, let's see what happens. There's the cast down. Okay. Finally just jams the Thorn of the Black Rose. Pretty expected. Maybe I should just kill this right now. Turn off the bleeding. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's go evoke the Muldrifter. Then we can snap the Muldrifter, and then if they have a Snuff Out, I have a Ephemerate. Snap the Muldrifter. If they don't have a Snuff Out, I just hard cast it again. Snuff Out, I'll hit it with an Ephemerate. That resolves. Let's go. Thought that one through and it paid off. And Preordain. Prohibit and Familiar. Let's top them. Play the Chancery. Pick up an island. Your turn. We are 9 cards ahead and they have the Monarch. They just had to wait too long to play the Monarch and we win game 1. Yes. You. I don't think there's anything I need to do. I can bring in the Arcane Answer over a Cleric maybe. Triple Snap. I think Snuff Out's pretty good. Maybe Ephemerate I can cut for another counterspell. And then I can counterspell the Monarch and prohibit the fairies. We'll try it. This is a very, very odd hand, but I'm going to keep it. We have Land Faithful, and then we can snuff out some stuff. Go Faithful, turn 2 Faithful, Landscape, Snuff Out, or just turn 2 Faithful, Preordain, depending on what they have. Opponent Preordains. So we're likely to go Faithful into Preordain and start getting a huge life gain going. We play Bojuka Bog. Gets in for 1. You do have to worry about a play the Faithful, play the Preordain. We have to worry about Okiba Gang Shinobi. That's something they'd love to play. On Ice Tunnel, this is awesome. Pop both of these. Pass the turn. So this next turn I can go Ice Tunnel Familiar. Then if they have a Spellstutter Sprite, we can try to snuff out the Spellstutter Sprite. And play the Familiar. If they have a regular counterspell, let's try to snuff out their Fairy Seer on their turn. They go Wither and Bloom. Let's try to kill this. Okay, your turn. Plays a Contaminated Aquifer. So I've got Counterspell. I think I should play the Landscape, crack it for an island. That way I have Counterspell for the Monarch. They'd have to have Monarch plus Dispel. That's the turn. Although maybe I shouldn't have F6 there, because they could just... They're flashing in a Spellstutter Sprite? No, they're going to play a Cast Down. Okay. Plays a land. Passing. I'll play Preordain. If they have Spellstutter Sprite, I have Prohibit. I'm looking for another island. Okay, these are good. So I'll play the Chancery and pick up the Plains. I generally want to prioritize having blue mana in play when it has 4 cards in hand. So this is not the Snacker build, I guess. They go for the Lorien Revealed. We have Counterspell in hand. That is lucky for me. Damn. Then I can go Archaeomancer, grab the Counterspell. Your turn. When it untaps, they're not doing anything. We draw another Faithful. I'm going to start with the Deep Analysis. They play a Counterspell. So do they have a Bojuka? They have Bojuka Bug in hand right now. I don't think I'm going to respond to the Counterspell. It's going to attack. Really getting the beats. It's a 20 turn clock. They snuff out my creature. Okay. 2 cards in hand. They'll go to 3 cards in hand. Let's prohibit their Spellstutter Sprite. They probably have Okiba in hand. I would almost guarantee that their last card is okay. It's Thorn of the Black Rose. I just don't want to get Okiba'd. So I guess they tricked me there for sure. So Faithful, draw 2 cards. We're still ahead on cards. Find a Faithful and a Muldrifter. Play the land, pass the turn. They have 1 card in hand. Next turn I have Muldrifter plus Counterspell. Opponent can attack. Okay. Don't do it. They didn't have it. Phew. Find a Mortuary Mire. Let's cast the Muldrifter. They've used 1 Counterspell already. We draw 2. Find a Snuff out. Let's Mortuary Mire back the Archaeomancer. Then I'm passing. Now I need to keep the Muldrifter alive. Fairy Seer. Okay. I'm just going to snuff out the Fairy Seer. It's not great that they get to scry, because their Monarch will draw them the card that they scry into, so hopefully they go bottom, but they went top. Oh no. Oh no. Wither and Bloom. Sure. They get in for 1. We take the 1. We'll snuff out their creature. They concede! Yes! We were going to take down the match. The snuff out looking good! Oh, right. Giving us the Monarch. Sweet. Let's go to round 5. Okay, round 5. We have probably a great hand. We have Ice Tunnel to turn on the Snuff Outs. Turn 2 Modern Age off. And we have our Plains as well if we need it. A decent amount of card draw and fixing. Can always cycle this Contaminated Landscape as well. Our opponent mulliganed to 5 and then went Island Delver. Not great, but with the Ice Tunnel, turn 2, we play the Modern Age. See what we can do. Our opponent brainstorms to set up the Delver. They flip on a Brainstorm. They're going to get in. They're currently tapped out. We find a Snap. Finding a Muldrifter. Play the Modern Age. For the moment, I'm going to discard the Contaminated Landscape because it's kind of slow. In 2 turns, we can block the Delver with the Modern Age. Brainstorming again, looking for lands. They play an island, so they did find a land. Let's see if they can clear their Brainstorm, if they'll just be Brainstorm locked. But, you know, they could have, like, all sorts of way to clear the Brainstorm. That is kind of what the deck is built to do, with Thought Scours and Mental Notes and stuff like that. Another Muldrifter. Another island. Play the Plains. I think I have to Chancery here. And then I'm hoping that they don't play Boomerangs. They cycle the Lorien Revealed, grabbing an island, clearing their Brainstorm. So at this point, I think what makes the most sense is to cycle the Lorien Revealed so that I can Archaeomancer it back. A Boomerang. That really is really painful. Wow. Okay. That's my fault. People have kind of moved off Boomerang lately, but our opponent is not only playing Boomerang, they're on the extra tilty white border Boomerang. For you. Get a Modern Age. Vector Glider, pass the turn. Discard the Chancery. They play a Tolarian Terror. They're going to trade. Okay. A block. I'm going to Dawnbringer away one of their stuff in their graveyard. Dawnbringer. That way they can't just cast another Terror. Exile whatever. Play a land, pass a turn. We have a couple of turns. They're pondering. So if they find a land again, they can play another Terror. And they choose to not shuffle. Let's see if they play a land. We're just going to boomerang again. It seems they have a terror in hand, but they didn't think it through and do the math. Gets in for 5. Okay, no blocks this time. Find a Modern Age. I'll go land. Play the Familiar. See if they have a counterspell. Okay, they have the counterspell. That was a really well done mulligan. Yikes. We will discard the Deep Analysis. I'm gonna have to block this time, because I won't be able to use the Snuff out. Plays a land, 3 cards in hand. Just jams in for 5. Big ol' snake. Cryptic Serpent. Boomerangs my land. You'd love it. Love it. On it. Okay, draw. Find a Snuff out. So I'm going to discard the, I guess, Archaeomancer. Play the Ice Tunnel. Play the Familiar. Kill your snake. Pass the turn. Next turn, this turn I'm going to chump with the Familiar, then I'm going to play a Muldrifter. Chump with the Modern Age. Play another Muldrifter. Just kind of keep chumping until I somehow find a way to kill their creature. A Mental Note, milling Mental Note Delver. Okay, we've got the chump going on here. Bonk. Did not find a threat. Find a Prohibit. Go land. Play a Muldrifter. Finding a Preordain. Okay. I'm gonna jump with the Vector Glider. They Deep Analysis. Okay. If I find Snuff out, I can kill this because I can hard cast it and pay the ward. Block. What do we got? Landscape. Start with a Preordain. A Faithful would be nice. Find an Ephemerate. Let's bottom this. Top the Ephemerate. And then Drifter Ephemerate. Evoke. Probably shouldn't have played the Swamp out. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. We're sort of clawing our way back in somehow. Pass the turn. Okay. Everyone has 5 cards in hand. They get in. We block. Oh man, it's getting tight. Plays a Cryptic Serpent. I need a snap now. I have an Ephemerate, so I can Ephemerate and then protect my Ephemerate with the Prohibit. So I'll draw a bunch of cards. Okay. Preordain, looking for a snap. Bottom both of these. I think. Faithful. If I play the Faithful, I have multiple chumpers. The Faithful. Play the Modern Age. Go to 3 life, which is not enough. Draw. I'll discard the Chancery. So my only hope, I guess, at this point, play this out, and then we'll double block and try a Flicker, but they have to not have a Spell Pierce or anything else. They're casting a Mental Note. Mills Brainstorm Serpent. 5 mana available. They cast a Deep Analysis targeting themselves. 3 mana available. What are the odds they have a Spell Pierce? Like, really, really, really high. Okay. They're attacking. Swing away. Some people call this deck Blue Bogles. Just put a big creature on the table and see what happens. Alright, let's Flicker and hope. Nope. But what is, I guess, we have 4 life now. It's not enough to Snuff out. But we could cast the Deep Analysis. I found a snap. I'm going to discard the Landscape. Play the Familiar. Chancery. We'll pick up the Landscape. First thing I'm going to do is snap this Cryptic Serpent. We have a Prohibit for a counterspell. Okay, I'll respond to their counterspell with a Prohibit. Okay, untap, untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Start with a Preordain. I'll bottom, top the Preordain. Preordain again. Okay, Muldrifter on top. I'll keep it. And then play the Muldrifter. Another Chumper. We're just barely, barely, barely surviving. We draw a Faithful and a Snap. So next turn I have Faithful. I can snap their 6/5 again. Go to 5 life. They play a Ponder. And they shuffle. Ponder again. They can get rid of one of my creatures if they find another Boomerang. Let's see, they've cast 2 so far. That's probably what they're looking for. Okay, this time they didn't shuffle. Attacks for 5. Let's do it. Boomerang the Familiar. Okay. Block. They have a Tolarian Terror. I really am looking for a Snuff out on a deep analysis. Okay. Faithful. Then I'll play. So just need more mana in play. Play this land. They scoop? What is going on? How did they scoop? Why? That doesn't make any sense. They're just over it? Wow. I cannot believe that. I guess they just had nothing. What? I mean, I'm taking it. Okay, so Snuff outs in. Get rid of the counterspell. Dominator Cleric's medium. Archaeomancer. So we're going to try to snuff out them into the ground. And this time, I have 2 games in which to try to keep and not get stuck with a 1 land cantrip concede. Well, our opponent mulligan to 6. We know they have Boomerang, so that makes Chancery pretty bad. I think I should mulligan. Okay, this seems much, much, much better. We have turn 1 snuff out a Delver. Let's keep. I'm sort of nervous. Maybe the Chancery should be put back. I'm putting back the Chancery because I'm afraid. And then we will go Ice Tunnel, turn 2, Floodplain, Preordain. Just tap lands for days, but we can back up our tap land by a Snuff out. Our opponent leads on Island into Brainstorm. Okay. So since they went Brainstorm, they didn't play Delver. I'll play the Floodplain in case I draw an untapped island and can get the Familiar into the battlefield. They cycle the Lorien Revealed. There's an island. That cleared their Brainstorm. And we did not draw it, so attempt to Preordain. My expectation is a Spell Pierce. Wow, so confusing. Okay, you had to Spell Pierce that time. Saw it coming. I do like the fancy art though. Guys like, what? 3, 4. I got nothing. When it's Brainstorming again. Passing again. I will try another Preordain. Okay, this is sad. We will top both of these. And then just play the Chancery, picking up the Floodplain. And then hope that they don't Boomerang. Don't do it. Lap. No, they played a Mental Note instead. Wow. Cycles of Lorien Revealed. We're in for some danger here. They've got terrors up the wazoo, probably. If they tap out for a bunch of terrors. They play a Cryptic Serpent. 5/5/5. Okay. I will untap and attempt to snuff out your Cryptic Serpent. They counterspell. Alright, great. Play Sunscape Familiar. Play the Floodplain. Play the Modern Age. And then I'll discard the Ephemerate, I think. And then just blast this thing. Bam! Snuff out saved me. 8 life for 1 creature. Yikes. They play a land. They have 5 cards and 5 mana available. And a Lorien Revealed. They're drawing 3, but they're tapped out. So on my turn, I probably just want to draw 4 with the Deep Analysis. Finding a Mortuary Mire, which I can't really afford to ditch. I'll discard the land. I know that's a bit risky, but I'd like to draw 4 cards here. Draw some more cards. Play the Mire. I mean, we had that land lined up, but right now we only have 3 blue mana. So our opponent drew 3 for 5, and we drew 4 for 4. That's a better rate. 6 mana, they play a Tolarian Terror. Okay, scary stuff happening. Another Tolarian Terror. We can play Faithful Preordain and then hold up Flicker plus Prohibit. A Sleep of the Dead my creature. Yikes. Okay. Modern Age flips. Faithful has to Preordain. Go to 10 life. Another Faithful and an island. Okay, so top. Play the Faithful. Play the Modern Age. That puts me to 12 life. Spell Pierce. Sad. That is very sad. Okay. So I didn't play the Swamp because I wanted to pitch it to the Vector Glider. So what do you have? Oh, they're going to Sleep of the Dead. So they're Sleep of the Dead some things. Okay. Plays a Delver. And get in for 10. Alright. Play my island. I think I have to pass. Let's see what the Delver does. It flips. Easy peasy. They have Thought Scour in their hand now. Thought Scour themselves. Fine. They mill Serpent and Boomerang. Mental note. They mill Delver, Boomerang. I love that. Okay. They attack for a lot. 13. I'm going to block with, this doesn't really matter, Familiar and Faithful. Then I'm going to flicker Familiar and the Vector Glider. Then I have nothing in my graveyard that I can use. So flicker here. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? I got all caught up in the moment. I tried to flicker the Familiar in the Modern Age, and I just like hunted so bad. Oh my goodness. That was really, really, really bad. Okay. They got me no matter what anyway, I guess. Draw. That was an unfortunate scenario. Major punt. But instead, it was nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too. I'm sorry, but I really hate Boomerang. It's not you, it's me. Let's submit. On the play. Mulligan. Okay, I think this is a keep, and we can put back the Mire. I really hope they don't Boomerang me into the ground. Maybe I should have put back the Chancery. I'm just afraid. It's like, Chancery is such a huge part of why Familiars is good that it's kind of sketchy to mulligan and get rid of it. It gets you cards back. They play a Delver. I go land and Faithful. Let's see if they work really hard to set up this Delver, and then we can snap it. They're casting a Brainstorm that'll get the Delver flipped. Flip on a Lorien Revealed. Plays an island. Gets in for 3. Yep. I'm gonna just play the Modern Age and see if they respond. They might Spell Pierce. They Spell Pierce, okay. And this next turn, I can try to snap and play Muldrifter, assuming there's no Boomerang. They cycle a Lorien Revealed, finding an island. That was on their upkeep. 4 cards in hand. Doesn't appear to have a Boomerang. Gets in for 3. We find a swamp. So I play the swamp out. Attempt to snap this. They have a counterspell. So I guess that's decent because now I can probably hardcast the Muldrifter. Once again, assuming there's no Boomerang. Now my opponent has 4 cards. Thought Scour, milling a Boomerang and a Terror. Hopefully they don't have more counterspells in hand. Maybe they do just because they're so aggressive at just blasting it off. Getting in. We get a 13. Cycles a Lorien Revealed. Plays a land. 3 cards in hand. Plays a Terror. No additional Terror. Okay. Land. Cast a Muldrifter. We can trade with the Insectile Aberration. And hopefully get out of range of the Terror with the Preordains and stuff. An Archaeomancer Preordain. So maybe I just Archaeomancer for snap? Probably not. They have 5 mana. 2 cards in hand. We are going to trade. Plays a Serpent. 1 card left. I'm going to try Preordain first. They play a Spell Pierce. Okay, I guess I'm going to pay. Another Muldrifter and a Preordain. So I top both. Preordain, looking for the Snuff out. Found it. Sick. Okay, top. Kill this thing. Next turn, I can play Archaeomancer into Snuff out again. Oh man. Play a Preordain again. Can't believe we found the Snuff out there. I just tried so hard and found it. Another Archaeomancer and a Drifter. Okay, I'll top these. Pass the turn. We're currently at 9. You know, anything could happen still. So in order to snuff out their creature, we have to cast Archaeomancer, have it resolve. Our opponent ponders. And we have to snuff out and then pay the ward. They do not shuffle. Maybe they kept Lorien Revealed. They put us to 4. Plays a Cryptic Serpent. Okay. So I can Archaeomancer. And then I think I probably just go after the Tolarian Terror here. Because I have the mana to pay for ward. Blast this. The next turn I can snuff out the other creature. And just chump with my Archaeomancer here. If they have double Sleep of the Dead, I'm dead. Super dead. So Sleep of the Dead, then they can escape it. Gets in for 6. Chump. Okay. Play Archaeomancer. Oh wait, I can't cast the Snuff out this turn. Crud. Crud! It looks like they have Counterspell, huh? Because they're considering countering this. I can get Snap and then block and try to snap my Archaeomancer. That's not a great plan either. I use a lose focus. Okay. We can't pay. So I think I have to Modern Age. Play the Modern Age. Now I wish I kept that land in hand. Let's draw. Discard this land. Pass the turn. Okay, hopefully they don't have a removal spell. I guess it was a little bit of a back and forth at least. They're staying at 4. We get 2 looks at another Snuff out. Finding a God Pharaoh's Faithful. Pretty solid. And a Familiar. So I think I just go Faithful plus Drifter. I don't know. Or I can go Familiar plus Drifter. I have all the mana to cast that. Okay. Familiar. Cast the Mole Drifter. Does it resolve? Resolves! And Lorien revealed for the next turn. And another Chumper. This is crazy. They're getting in. I chump again. When it's at 4 minutes on clock. Still not casting things or playing lands. We find a landscape. Let's cast the Lorien Revealed. Find an Ephemerate. Okay. So I think I play the landscape. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because I could Ephemerate the Vector Glider. Oops. Sorry, everybody. Let's try Deep Analysis. Afraid. I think I just need to keep moving. Finding a Snap. Okay. I'm going to Ephemerate the Vector Glider to draw a card. Well, that loot away, I mean. They play another land. I guess they're flooded. This has been pretty crazy. Okay. Block. Ephemerate. Does that resolve? It resolves. We will discard a Modern Age. I like the cards in my hand if I can draw another Mole Drifter or something. We're at 4 though. 2 cards for the opponent, and they're not doing anything. It's got to be lands. Maybe they're holding on to lands for a potential brainstorm. That would make sense. We Ephemerate the Familiar. We draw another Ephemerate. Let's go. This is crazy. Okay, I'll discard this. And then Drifter Ephemerate. I have a Counterspell backup. Well, at least I can hang now. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. I find the Snuff out. So let's cast it. Try to kill this. Wow, we win. Unbelievable. Yep, they had 2 lands. Wow. Okay, so Snuff out fams. That worked out. We beat Terror. I've had some pretty decent success against Glee. Maybe this is the way forward. I'll have to keep trying it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. Hashtag still listening. We'll see you in the next one.